live. We are thinking about it. It is thinking, and we are live. You've got to love technology and
Uh,
to check to make sure that you are live in the right space. But anyway, welcome to an incredible conversation. Of course, I'm Sophia from Sacred G, but the most important thing is with me, we have an amazing woman, Jo Anne Irwin, who is one of our incredible tribe hosts and all about empowering ourselves to live our best lives. Love it, Jo. And I just wanted, before we get it going in our conversation, can I just thank you and really honor you because, this is something that we all need in the world to learn how to develop the ability to empower ourselves,
mm,
develop best life. So thank you.
mm,
Truly, truly, and thank you for joining us today.
you're welcome. And I just love the work I do and in empowering women in the world because it's truly our birthright.
Yes.
Like,
A lot of us have, through circumstances, whether it's one life or many, if you believe in many, have had that, or we've allowed that power to be taken away from us. So, and I love the topic of our conversation, stepping into your power and owning your throne.
yeah.
Owning your throne. So what does that mean for you?
For me, it's about, stepping into who we truly are at the core of our being, our soul self, and truly following your heart and your own passions and desires other than all the things that we think we should be or we're being told that we should be following, and societal conditioning and our conditioning of our upbringing and the way that others have, I see a lot of people just living the same lives as their parents have lived. Nothing's changing, stepping into the same jobs, stepping into the same lifestyle, relationships, and it's fascinating to me. I see it in my own community and my own family, and I think, right, it's like they haven't truly stepped into themselves and the power that they have, because they don't know they have that power yet. So that's why it's so important that people like ourselves and our community here in Sacred Jew are supporting people moving into, who they truly are and what they're capable of. And I know a lot of the tribe leaders are exactly on the same page as that, doing the work and helping people do that. So, excuse the noise in the background. I have my two grandchildren here, and they were going to promise me they were going to be very, very quiet, but they're not.
It's perfect. And if your
Yeah.
two grandchildren happen to be on camera and want to say hello,
Okay.
because I love it how you're real.
Yeah.
You're a businesswoman. You have your own business. You're an entrepreneur. You're a tribe host, and as you said, you're an incredible grandmother who values family life. So,
Yeah, it's so important to have that balance, and I think that's important because then you're owning, who you are. You're owning your own values, and it's that's a whole segment we do in my Finding You program with a group of women, is realigning our values to find where we sit and what we value most in our life, so that can drive us forward. So there's many ways to explore that, and that's one way. Is when you mentioned values, what do you value? Who are you at the core of your being, that you value you more than anything else? Because I believe that you come first, and that in me is like, I my morning routine is all about me setting myself up for the day, and so I can actually step into my own power and do the work that I do in the world and service the clients that I service in a way that's empowering and leading from that place of being in the world, and I guess following what I teach, what I practice, what I teach.
yes.
And because it truly is the only way, and it's beautiful, and it's yes, so important. Family is so important to me, and I really I make that space, and I think one thing is that we need to plan these things if we're going to be an entrepreneur, if we're going to have other interests. I have a couple of other health legs in my business as well, so I have to really segment them and block them out in my planner. By the way, if anyone hasn't got that planner, and all my tribe members have access to that planner, and it's truly a game changer. And once again, through the last 8 weeks of my program with ladies, that's the one thing they said that helped them to really, get the things that are important done, which are the things for them, before they start to, implement all these other parts of our day. There's so much in our day. So planning is crucial for executing what we need to what we want, or what we want to achieve. And it's just baby steps, because you're breaking it up into baby steps so that you can get all those things done. And if you don't, like we cover guilt, we let go of the guilt and we just put it over into another day.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. But we, in our heads, the stories we tell ourselves and about if we don't achieve this or that and the other. And I used to be driven by success, because I had 4 children on my own, but that was driving me.
Yes.
And that wasn't good, because that was heading to burnout, and I was burned out a few times. So really, segmenting what's important to you, and only doing that is a game changer in conquering your overwhelm and anxiety as well, and really coming back into you, and reassessing and resetting and realigning what you want, where you're going, and doing it in little steps. And I say to people, how do you eat an elephant? And I'm a vegetarian, so one bite at a time, right?
Yeah.
It's such a game changer when you're trying to go for your goals and dreams and achieve everything. And along the way, by giving to yourself and making the time to work through the stuff that comes up. Because when you're an entrepreneur or a businesswoman, everything's going to show you that you can't, and this comes back to value, owning your value, owning your worth. Okay, so there's lots of layers to really, but making the time to work through those things so that you can come through it and keep stepping forward. And when you fall down, like, how do you get back on a surfboard? I mean, this is, you just get back on the surfboard. The most professional surfers in the world, do you think they gave up after a couple of tries? How many times? I think they would have fallen off 1,000 times before they actually, or more, before they got back on and kept going. So not beating yourself up. Yeah. And each time you do that, you're actually embedding another part of you that's worthy. Another part. Yeah. So.
And it's so true. So very true. Now, can I ask you, Jo, about your life? Let's get a little bit personal, if that's okay. Thank you for sharing. I know you shared that you brought up 4 children on your own and everything, and it hasn't been easy. But have you always lived this empowered life, in inverted commas, as such? Have you always been able to own your own throne, or was there a time where it was completely different? And what did you do to become who you are now?
I think it's just been a process over the years. That's, fortunately, I fell into and met people who guided me along the way. So I think we've talked about when I met Jim Rohn when I was about 28. I was very interested in alternative healing, spirituality, doing all the courses, all the natural things, natural therapies and things. And then I fell into health and nutrition, and I met Jim Rohn, and then he really was the catalyst for me that led me on the path of, really personal development, personal growth. And through that process, I learned, and something my grandson yesterday said to me, I took the three of them bowling, and he said, he obviously won the bowling. The three of them played. I didn't play because I've done my back. But he, after it, the girl's going, oh yeah, you won, blah. And he goes, you know what? It's not about winning. It's about happiness. And I'm like, whoa. I mean, these are 5-year-olds we're listening from the mouth of 5-year-olds. And he said, if you don't win, what happens? And he taught them, he said, you don't win, you learn.
Yeah.
You don't win, you learn. I'm like, yes, that if you can grow up with those sorts of philosophies, and I don't know where that came from, but it's so important. If we don't succeed, we just learn and then we grow from that. So we had this whole conversation around it. It was beautiful. But yeah, so I really am passionate about starting to embed these things into our younger generation, our grandchildren and children, if you have them. But yeah, start when they're young. And because I know my children, I used to have to drive when in that business 28 years ago when I met Jim Rohn, I used to drive from the Central Coast to Sydney every week and to go to trainings and events and things like that with the children in the car, and I dropped them at their dad's. But all they heard the whole way was, and back in those days was the cassettes. Do you remember the cassette? That recorder in the car? All they heard was Jim Rohn or Tony Robbins.
And what a wonderful way to be brought up.
And you're embedding it, right?
Yes.
So
well, an incredible way to be brought up. So thank you for doing that. I mean, I think, the universe has brought that situation to you. And yes, you were a single parent bringing up 4 children, you said, but what a life, what a way to be brought up. Listening to Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, and even if they weren't, even if they were occupied in other things, that children getting occupied, at least their subconscious is hearing it.
100%, 100%. And yeah, I really, I'm really grateful that I found that opportunity when I did. And I'm really grateful for being for that thing that happened. And I wrote a chapter in a book about this, the day my life turned around. And the day he walked out the door was when my life turned around. I mean, it was shitty at the time. It was terrible, but it changed my life because it took me on the trajectory of health and personal development, spirituality, all the things. So and I know if people are going through things, and people are always going through things, it's hard and you don't think you're ever going to get through it. But I just want you to know it's temporary, okay? Because you will. And I did have the dark thoughts. Don't get me wrong, I was there. But I believe it was a really an important learning for me to be in that situation, because it made me a better person. And I grew, and I went on that journey and traveled the world with that company. And it was just, incredible, the things that I experienced, even as a single mum, being able to have a nanny, right? It was like not all the time, but when I was going away, having that support. And we all know that I teach support is our superpower, and leaning into people to help people. Because the other thing about that was a year after that happened, my dear mum passed away at 61. So it was almost like another double whammy, another reason for me to fall in a heap and say, this is all too hard, like I can't do this. But actually that event, that's the catalyst that put me on the journey of nutrition and health, and me deciding back then that I would not let another woman's suffer as a result of losing their mum. So I then went on this whole health, helping people with their health and transforming their health so that no one had to suffer like I did when my mum passed. She was my rock. She was my guardian angel, and she still is. She's up there looking over us all. But yeah, it was pretty like, it was a good enough reason to go, yeah, I'm going to get up. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to become a single mum and go on the, what do they call it? That pension thing, whatever it is, single mums.
Single parents.
Parents, yeah.
Parents or something like that. Yeah.
To me, that felt very icky.
Yeah.
That felt really not the way to go. So I just put myself into action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And again, congratulations. Like, seriously, congratulations. And what if we've got women out there who are watching that, you know, may not feel powerful, may not have feel that they have any worth in this world, and definitely don't feel like they're sitting on a throne.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
They've got that power. What are some basic steps that people can do to start their journey to empower themselves? What are some basic steps?
100%. Just make time for yourself every single day. You have to put time aside for you to do the things that you love, that you're passionate about, even if it's 10 minutes. And I know women in my group program find, you know, they had no time before, but this actually put them in a position to be able to make 10 minutes a day. And as a result of that 10 minutes, because people think they have to do grand, big chunks of time. Yeah. And it's little baby steps, little tiny amounts of time throughout the day. And this is where the planner came in. We put in, okay, I've got 5 minutes here, I've got 5 minutes there. What can I do? Sit there and breathe. Like, tune into yourself. What do I need? What do I want? What do I need now for me? Okay, and it might need a nice nourishing drink, or it might need a healthy snack. Like, really taking that time for yourself, even 5 minutes, 3 times a day, can be a game changer. But you have to be consistent with that, right? You can't just do it once or twice, and that's why I love the 8 weeks, because they're doing it every day over that period. So they're creating new habits, and the transformations are massive from those tiny little steps. So take time for you is probably my biggest tip, and plan.
And it's so important, isn't it? So important, because if we don't take time for ourselves, we can't really give time to others.
No.
In a altruistic way. And this is speaking from my experience, quite often, especially women, but men too, we do for others because we're wanting something in return, whether that's appreciation or approval or validation. I just had an incredible conversation with another woman all about validation and how we have that need to get validated from outside, because we're not taking time for ourselves.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah.
Simple. Instead of running, giving our times to everyone else, it's just like, no, just stop.
Yeah.
For me, and as you said, it's if it's only 10 minutes a day. That could even be just 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there.
Definitely, 100%.
Thank you.
And also gratitude is a really big piece too, is because our mind defaults back to all the why nots and all the things from the past, and it's essentially running us, right? It's in the driver's seat. It's controlling everything that we do. So when we take back that power within our minds and bring us back into the center, excuse me, girls. When you bring yourself back into the center, it's that taking your power back. You actually come back to you, and being grateful for those little things, even if it's the bird that you hear when you wake up in the morning, or the sun shining, or a smile that someone has given you. Like, oh, so grateful for every little thing, even the tiniest little thing. The ant walking across the pavement. Oh, look at him in the ecosystem. You know, he's part of our ecosystem. We had conversations about that. Yesterday we had a beautiful green tree snake running across our path. And, you know, the girls hadn't seen that before. And it's, you know, it's all about teaching them how precious those things are. Right. And we collected, like, we went on a forage in our garden. We got lemons and oranges, bananas, 15 avocados, and we come home with this abundance, right, of beautiful gifts from nature. So we have to be grateful for these little things and what nature provides. So starting there and not starting with, you know, thinking that you have to be grateful for all that money that just landed, and sometimes we can be grateful for the things that aren't actually showing up for us now. That's another level. We can say, I'm grateful for what it is you want to receive before they show up. That's a powerful process too. So there's so many things, but just start with you and one thing, and keep it simple and keep it consistent is the key. Yeah.
And just taking time out.
Taking time out just to be.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now tell us about your business. Tell us about weight-free
mind. Free mind. Yeah. It's all about taking the weight off this brain of ours that's consistently just chatting away and running us, and releasing by doing all the things, some of the things we've been talking about, but, you know, looking deeper and into the layers of what may be running us, our beliefs, limiting belief systems, other people's belief systems that we've taken on, you know, conditioning and programmed behavior that has come through from generations, ancestors, culturally and family, and also a little bit of past lives, which I love, because, you know, it's fascinating how it can come through so, you know, energetically from other places. So I use a lot of different techniques. I am trained in NLP and hypnosis, but a whole lot of other areas, but mainly, you know, my inner guidance will help me to see what the person needs. And I use frequencies, which is fantastic because it can really tap into the root cause, the root source, and send the person the frequencies that they need to heal from the root, ancestrally, past life, all the things. So yeah, a combination, but the frequencies just gives it that extra oomph to get them through, you know, if they're stuck in a certain area of their life. And that's really powerful. But yeah, I work over 12 weeks one-on-one. Love my 8-week group program. About to start another one in October, so I'm excited to have some beautiful women in that. Small groups, we keep it to 5 or 6 max, because I like it to be intimate and people feel confident in that place and connected. And then I have a one-off frequency session as well, that I offer for people who just want to break through something that's they're stuck in their life, and that's really powerful as well. Just finished one with a lady who has been trying to find work for so long, and doing all the right things, like even calling their HR departments. She's been doing it and hadn't landed anything, right? So we spent an hour, we look at, you know, what it is she wants and create a statement around that and intention around that. And we go very deep. And when they talk, I can see where the blocks, I can really see where they are in their way, very clearly, very, very tuned into language and you know, how they speak and what they talk about. And often I see that there could be some limiting beliefs there. So we embed all of that into a statement, and then we do a body scan, an energetic scan, and what comes up are the frequencies that they need to shift. And it always fascinates me because some of it's past life, some of it's ancestral. It's not always ours. right? And this is the thing. Yeah. So we need to be able to discern, but that helps just shift and clear the energy so that they can, and some magical things are happening for her now, like invitations and connections that she would never have even imagined had happened in just 5 days. So watch this space. I'm excited for her. So that's just a very powerful process that I love to do with people, and that's an hour with me and then an hour of frequencies after and 5 days support. So yeah, yeah, that's my work. That's but the tribe, I love the tribe as well, and I missed it yesterday so much because I wasn't I was in a bit of pain from did something to my discs. Feeling much better today. Again, using frequencies, using the tools that I have at hand. And this is taking your power back, not relying on the medical system. Obviously, I went to an osteo, but, you know, normally you would, you know, throw down a whole lot of drugs like some people trying to get it from that angle, which is just masking it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and there was a deeper thing happening for me there. So
and there is, and that's the body. Well, when I say there usually always is, in the body's way of telling us that it's time to look at something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're incredible, Jo. You're incredible. So you do help people online?
Yes. Yeah. All my work's online. Yes.
So all your links are below our conversation. So for anyone who is watching, whether it's live or the replay, do click on the links below and connect with Jo, because she's incredible. I personally have I've had the honor of experiencing some of Jo's healing frequencies when I also wasn't well, and when stuff was happening, when my body was sending me messages about things that I needed to learn. So, and I really do thoroughly recommend it. And if you want to know more about the Empowering You to Live Your Best Life tribe, come and join us. Come and join Jo. It's another incredible weekly session where I don't know what happens in that tribe, Jo. Can you?
We have the most incredible conversations, and you know, nothing's off the table in that tribe. It's a beautiful group of women who just show up. Usually we have a topic that we start with, and then, you know, sometimes that goes into areas that people may need a little bit extra support with. But these women are so wise, as they're already empowered, I say, but they help, like everybody helps everybody. So by being there, you don't just get what you know, I'm just the facilitator of that tribe, because we learn from each other and we share different ways and different options of healing, different modalities, different experiences. And I love the stories of experiences that other women have gone through, and they've gone through it and come through it, and have become like a better being, a better human being. And watching them transform, and I'm thinking of someone specific here, has just been amazing to watch. And someone's going to come and say hello. Scarlett, you're on video. You've been shy. So yeah, it's a beautiful tribe. So please come and join us. It's fun. We have a lot of laughs as well.
Can I have more Weet-Bix?
More Weet-Bix. You didn't have any Weet-Bix. You made pancakes. She made pancakes this morning.
Weet-Bix.
This is beautiful. Is this
the little healer? I tell you, you're the healer.
Yeah.
What did you do for Nan this morning?
Make pancake.
Yeah, but what did you do with the sound bowl? The little sound bowl.
Making an exercise.
Well, I was exercising. Yeah, you did some. She was saying, breathe in, breathe out. Now change poses. And this is Charlie. This is my other little granddaughter. Say hello. Oh, you're being shy.
A bit shy.
A bit shy. So thank you everyone for listening. I love Sacred You. I love what you're doing, Sophia, and helping people around the world, and all the tribe leaders. They're all amazing. All the healers. So thank you, and offering a space for people to come together and heal.
We are honoured that you're part of it, Jo.
Agigo. Agigo.
That's enough. We're going to close now.
We're coming close. All right, Jo, I'm going to let you do listening to eat their pancakes and their sandwich.
Yeah. They want a smoothie as well. They want, okay, it's a restaurant here at the moment.
And we will talk to you next time.